Brianna Stanko is a skincare YouTube creator who's been on the platform for 12 years. One of the reasons I wanted to bring her on this show is so that she could share a particular story with you about a very troubling and traumatic experience that she went through regarding one of her businesses, and a business that was tied with her YouTube channel. She'll explain the whole story in this interview, but her story is actually very inspiring how she was able to get through it, and also interesting to know how her YouTube channel played a part in the whole thing as well. Well, hello, my name is Erika Vieira. I'm a YouTube strategist and coach, having helped hundreds of women behind the scenes through my Zero to Influence YouTube Bootcamp, my one-on-one YouTube coaching, and my strategic channel management. And on this channel, I interview well-known female content creators like Brianna, where together we pull back the curtain to reveal what it's really like to be successful on YouTube. So if that sounds like your jam, then hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of the interviews I have coming your way. Enjoy this interview. Mwah. Well, hello, Brianna. Welcome to the show.
Hi, so good to be here. Good to talk to you.
Yes, I'm so excited to have you on. You know, I've interviewed like over 350 people on this show, and I was telling you before we hit record how I've been watching your channel like forever. So it's really nice to be able to bring somebody onto the show that I love their content and I just resonate with. So excited to have you because I absolutely love your channel.
I love it. Thank you so much.
So before we dive into some other stuff, why don't you share with our viewers and listeners what inspired you to get onto YouTube and when it was that you got onto YouTube?
Okay, perfect. So I started YouTube back, I think it was 2012. And I started it because back then there was like no skincare channels, like at all. It was all makeup and everyone was talking about makeup. And I was like, I love skincare. And I was all about like putting the skin first and like, you know, makeup comes second. It's all about healthy skin. And I had a skincare business at the time, Premier Look, where we sold all like medical grade skincare. And there was just nothing on YouTube about medical grade skincare at the time. So I was like, like I love beauty. I mean, I still love makeup. I love beauty in general. I am all about trying like the latest and greatest in beauty, everything. So I was like, you know, I was watching certain people on YouTube and it was like, I could do that. I was like, I could totally make a channel and talk about beauty stuff and just share my experience, you know, share my knowledge on skincare and really give people like skincare, bring them skincare information that gives them real results. Because I was watching, you know, there was just people talking about products that I just didn't think really worked. And I was like, no, I really want to bring people like true skincare advice on products that really give the best results. So I started my channel and it's just been amazing since then.
Yeah. And how long ago was that you said?
2012.
Okay. So that's like 2012, like 20, what was that? That 10 years, right? That was 9 years. Getting on to 10 years.
Don't make me do math.
Yeah, I know. I'm me neither. So 10 years. Wow. Okay. So your initial thought of starting your channel was like, oh, hey, you know, I love skincare. I mean, 10 years ago, yeah. I mean, today there's so many people talking skincare.
So many. Yeah. And it was so funny because when I started my channel, like I said, there was nobody talking about like the medical grade skincare aspect of things. And I used to get so much hate over the products that I would talk about because people are like, oh, medical grade skincare, what's that? And I used to get so much hate. And nowadays it's like medical grade skincare is like everywhere. People talk about it on so many channels. It's funny, you know?
It's trending way more now. Totally.
Yeah, exactly.
So then, all right. So then you had your online website, which is basically... it's almost like an online marketplace for various different types of skincare. It's not like you had your own brand that you were selling online, right?
Yeah, it was all, it's all medical grade skincare. So I was working with a cosmetic surgeon and you can only get medical grade skincare. You know, you can't get it at Sephora. You can't get it at like a department store. You have to get it through like a cosmetic surgeon or a dermatologist. So being that I was working with a cosmetic doctor, we just made, you know, we formed this website where you could get all the best medical grade skincare products.
Was that so getting onto YouTube, you had already had that website?
I already had that started before I started YouTube.
How long did you have that business going prior to YouTube?
Honestly, probably only like maybe like 6 months.
Oh,
it wasn't that long.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what was your plan for marketing like prior to YouTube?
So honestly, like I started with marketing. You always think, okay, I got to do like SEO. I have to, you know, become like first on the search list for all these, you know, products and all these brands. And I was like, no, like, honestly, like, that's going to get you clicks and all of that, but it doesn't bring you like loyal people that really understand skincare or really understand the benefits of the products and the brands. That's why I was like, you know, doing, you know, YouTube and doing social media, like, I understand it. I can give everyone the information that they really need to really figure out what skincare works for them, what products are going to benefit them. And I wanted to bring people like the knowledge, not just click and buy something that might not even work for them, you know?
Yeah, no, totally. And that's great. I mean, YouTube is so good for that. And that you say there's these products here and they are more expensive than what you would buy even at Sephora or the drugstore. Right. So in a lot of ways, for people to really understand the reasoning behind that pricing, they need to know, like they need that knowledge.
Exactly. And you have to know what you have the you know, what you need. Everybody needs a little bit something different with their skin, and it depends what you're trying to accomplish with your skin. So I want all my videos to be like super informative of, you know, your skin needs this particular type of ingredient, you know, and then people can really understand what their personal skin needs instead of just buying things off the shelf and just hoping it works type of thing, you know?
Yeah. And so when creating your YouTube channel, was it strictly for that purpose? Well, yes, you said there weren't a lot of people talking about skincare, but was really with the intention in mind of bringing traffic to Premier Look?
It was honestly like 50-50. I was like, I love beauty in general. I'm such like a beauty girl to begin with. So I was like, one, I'm going to start YouTube because I think it's going to be super fun. I have 2 sons. I have 2 boys. So I have no girls in my house, and I'm the only one that has like, I love all things girly. So I'm like, this is my outlet to like talk to other women and have that like beauty connection and just, you know, I see YouTube as like, when I make a video, I see it as like, I'm talking to my friends. Like, I just hang out and we talk and we chat, and it's just like, that's like me sitting there talking. That's like my girl time, you know? So I did it to like, one, just have that like outlet for myself because I love all things beauty. But then, yes, there was obviously the other side of it too, where I was like, I can obviously use this to help promote my business at the same time.
Yeah. And so then what did that look like for you when you first?
I really didn't know what to expect. I was like, is anybody even going to watch this? I have no idea. Like, I just started making videos and I look back at my old videos and they're like terrible. I didn't know how to edit. I was just like, and I was like, literally like had no idea what I was doing. So I really had no idea what to expect. I just went on, kind of talked about, you know, makeup and skincare, and was like, if people follow, they follow, great. And then I just started making connections and just building like a relationship with people, building a relationship with other YouTubers. And then, you know, it just kind of takes off from there.
Yeah. Was there a moment where you felt like you're, you know, with YouTube, a lot of people, you know, they'll do it and they might not see results, right? They'll say like, oh, I'm only getting a few, you know, dozen views or a couple hundred views, or they're not seeing that feedback. Was your channel immediately successful at the start, or was there a period of times where you considered quitting it, or it was too much? And were you consistent from the start?
Yeah, it definitely was not successful from the start. And I would say even now you go through like slow periods of like growing, but I think it's just more about just being consistent with your, you know, with your videos and putting content out there, and you know, just do it for you, you know, and then people are going to pick up, and if, you know, you're going to attract the people that want to follow you. It's hard to like make a video and think, I'm just making this video because I want views, you know. It's the best, I think, to put out videos that just are really authentic to you, and then you're going to draw people that are loyal to you at the same time. Yeah.
So at what point did you have your YouTube channel and you felt like, you know, this is really driving that traffic to my brand? Was it immediately, or did it take a little bit of time?
Honestly, it actually kind of happened pretty fast. I think because I was really the only one talking about medical grade skincare back then. People that were attracted to my channel were obviously kind of interested in skincare. And it kind of picked up like traffic wise from my website, like pretty quickly, honestly.
Well, that's really good.
Yeah.
So then a lot of our viewers and listeners might not know of your story. So, you had this successful YouTube channel, you had this successful online skin place marketplace where you sold skincare products, and then that was all taken from you.
Yes.
So why don't you give our listeners and viewers a little bit of a Cliff Notes version of what happened?
Sure. So yes. So originally I had started Premier Look. So premierlook.com was my original skincare website. And I had started that with my ex-husband at the time. We started the website together. It was more of like, I was working with a cosmetic, doctor at the time. And it was something that I could do. I had just had 2 babies and I could do this from home. So it was like something that I was very passionate about, and I could work from home and be with my kids at the same time. So it was like a win-win. So I started this back, like 10 years ago, 11 years ago, probably now. And then my husband and I at the time, we just recently, like 3 years ago, divorced. And that's when it all went crazy, because my ex-husband completely stole the company from me in the middle of our divorce. He sold it to him and his friends and then shut me out of it entirely. I was left with no income, no child support, literally nothing, like nothing. And he just purposely did that to just take everything. He tried to take everything away from me that he could. And I didn't know what I was going to do. I completely fought with my lawyers, in my defense for like over 2 years, racked up an insane amount of lawyer bills in the time, but I actually ended up winning Premier Look back. So the judge actually awarded me the entire company back because of everything that my ex-husband did. So I won Premier Look back, which I was so excited about. I could not even believe it. I was so happy. It was like a piece of me was back. So then I got Premier Look back and started getting into the whole groove of things again. And I found out that the entire company was like in shambles. Like they had run it into the ground. There was so much.
And how long was this where you were shut out?
2.5 years.
Okay. So, I mean,
2.5 years, I was like clawing my way to try to get it back.
Wow.
Yeah. So in that 2 years, they just completely were stealing all the profits, running up the debt, running it into the ground. And when I got back into the company, I was like, oh my gosh, like I can't bring this back. Like it's just, the name of it has been tarnished. I can't do it. It like made me sick to my stomach. Like it was horrible. So I was left to a point where my lawyer was like, you can either like try to resurrect this company and put a lot of time and effort and money back into this, or you can start over and have a clean slate and build your brand back up from scratch. And at that point I was like, you know what, I'm just going to build this up again and start from scratch. So I literally went from completely, my husband at the time, my ex-husband, it was a multi-million-dollar business, and he completely destroyed it and left me with nothing. So I went from that to just starting completely from scratch again, which was honestly so scary. But at this point, I'm so glad that that's kind of the route that I was like taken on. I think, like I said, I always say this, I feel like God had a plan, and this was my plan.
Wow. So while that 2.5 years where you were fighting with the lawyers and your ex, and like you had no access to your business that you had built, were your YouTube channels still driving traffic to that site?
Yes, 100%. Yeah. It was still, I still had all my videos up. I personally wasn't making as many videos because I wasn't going to promote Premier Look, and I wasn't going to help them and these crooks that stole my business. So I was like left in this like devastated place, because I was like, I love my YouTube channel. I love coming on and connecting with people and talking about all this stuff. And I couldn't do it, and, but yeah, they were still making money off of all my videos. All customers were still going to them. Nobody really knew what I was dealing with behind the scenes, because like lawyer wise and legally wise, I couldn't even talk about anything.
So were you still creating videos at this time, in this 2.5 year period?
A little bit, yeah. I would still make some beauty videos and makeup videos and stuff here and there. But honestly, like I was so physically drained, and I was on the phone with lawyers every single day for hours. I was just in a really, really bad place in my life. I was like, I couldn't even get out of bed some days, So I really didn't make a lot of videos. And I honestly thought coming back and starting my channel over kind of again and starting a new business again, I was like, I don't even know who is still really here with me, like who of my followers are still here with me, because it's been a while. But that's what was shocking. It was like, I still had so much support, and, women, I feel like they really do come together, and they understand, and they really kind of help support and build you up back again when they see somebody go through like a lot of the craziness that I went through, which was like, it honestly just, it's amazing.
Yeah. And so during that period of time, were your viewers and followers, were they thinking everything was fine because they find your videos and then they go onto your site and then they're able to shop? It sounds like it was still operating.
Yeah, the site was still operating, right. But they honestly, I think, if you followed me on Instagram, a lot of the people that follow me on Instagram, they saw kind of more of the behind the scenes, because I am very real. I would go onto Instagram all the time. I would go on crying and just talk about a little bit. I couldn't say everything that was going on, but people that were following me knew kind of the background. And like I said, that's the one thing about like my social media is I just keep it extremely real. So people that follow me on like a day-to-day basis on Instagram, they kind of knew what was going on. They saw the divorce. They saw kind of the behind the scenes. And yeah, they were so supportive.
So when you came back after 2.5 years, so it sounds like even in that period of time where your store, had no access to your store, your whole business was taken away, you're dealing with all these legal battles, it sounds like you kind of even took a little bit of a break on your YouTube.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So then how did you prepare for coming back?
So basically, I honestly didn't prepare. I just, at that point where I won the business back and decided to go with Skin Truth. So I won the business back, saw all the craziness that had happened with it, decided to go my entire rebuild and started Skin Truth. I just was like, you know what? I'm going back on YouTube. I'm going to announce this. And I want to like motivate and inspire other women that you can have an insanely horrible divorce. So many of us deal with a divorce, and so many of us, have crazy stories about their divorce, and a lot of us don't really know how to get through that. So I just wanted to kind of inspire people that when I was at my lowest of lows, I had lost everything. I had no idea how I was going to take care of my kids, all of that. You can start again, and just to always stay positive. And if I can do it, anybody can do it too. So I just kind of wanted to come back on YouTube with like an inspiring story that, I lost everything and then had to rebuild, and anybody can do that too. Yeah.
So how was it like in that rebuilding stage? And when did this happen? Like, what, we're in 2021 now. When did this happen?
So I just started Skin Truth in February of 2021. So just, a couple of months ago, really.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're kind of still in, how has it been in rebuilding the traffic to your business, rebuilding
Honestly,
your YouTube channel, all that?
I was actually shocked. I was shocked at like how many supporters and followers were still with me and still supported me. And it actually took off quicker than I thought it would, honestly.
Wow. Were there any metrics that you're looking at in regards to sales or traffic or views or things that kind of at some point you're like, okay, like I'm back?
Yeah.
What were you looking at to kind of help you make that decision?
Honestly, just feedback, like comments and just feedback in general. Obviously traffic to my website has been great. But it's more along the lines of like, I love like getting DMs from people on Instagram, and they, share their story of a divorce and how they have had to start over too. And it's just a huge, like, I just feel such a connection with my followers and people that have been so supportive with me over the years. And it's like, I judge I don't really judge like progress, I would say per se with like my YouTube channel. It's more along the lines of like, kind of like the relationships that I build with my followers and stuff. Like I'm very like interactive with people, and I love more of the like connection side and like the support side from other women and stuff, which I think is amazing.
And at this point, is 100% of your traffic that you get to the Skin Truth website, is that from YouTube?
Yeah, my social media. Yeah, I don't pay for marketing. I don't pay for traffic or anything. I just take my passion and I put it out there, and then that's all I do.
Well, that's amazing. Well, thank you so much for sharing that story with everybody.
Yeah.
Now we're going to jump into the second half of the interview where I ask you the same 10 questions that I ask everybody that comes on the show.
Okay, cool.
You ready for that?
Okay.
Okay, awesome. So what do you love most about being on YouTube?
So basically kind of like what I was just talking about. I love the connecting with other women. I love that like outlet of sharing like girly things, anywhere from like lashes and hair and makeup and skin. Like I love all that stuff. And I could sit and talk to my friends all day about that stuff. So, like I said, I have all boys in my house. Yeah. So I love that like outlet of like girl time and just sharing that. Yeah.
What is your number one struggle with YouTube?
I would say I think the hardest thing about YouTube is getting views and like, building up like your subscribers and stuff like that. I think that's the hardest thing. And I think that's on any social media platform. I think it's hard to like, you got to find your niche and stuff, and then, try to, get those views and stuff, which can be difficult.
Yeah, no, definitely. If you were to start over with your YouTube channel right now, what, if anything, would you do differently?
Gosh, if I would start over, honestly, this might sound crazy, but honestly, nothing, because I just go onto YouTube and I just am me. And, I just, like I said, it's like I'm hanging out with my friends and I just kind of talk and chat and hang out. And I don't think I would change anything about that. I don't go onto YouTube like purposely trying to sell something or purposely trying to make money, or I just hang out and just talk about things that I really love, So to me, honestly, I don't think I would change anything, because that's how I've been from the start.
Yeah, definitely. What is your favorite video that you created that's on your channel?
My favorite video would probably definitely be the one where I came on and announced Skin Truth and my comeback of all comebacks. That's probably my favorite video. Yeah,
I would think so. What are some big mistakes you see aspiring YouTube creators making?
Probably just honestly not staying authentic to themselves. And there's so many brands that always reach out and try to like, hey, I'll pay you this if you talk about this product or this or that. And I think if you aren't authentic to yourself and you start going down the path of just trying to get that paycheck and you don't really believe in that product or that brand or something, like I think that's probably a mistake that I see. I think you should just always stay authentic to yourself and always talk about things that you truly believe in.
Yeah, you actually bring up something that I want to ask you. So is the vast majority of your income from the sales that you get on your website, or is it also, do you ever do brand deals? Like, do you ever do anything else? Because I don't recall seeing brand deals on your channel, but maybe you do.
Yeah, no, honestly, the money that I bring in is from Skin Truth. That's how I support my family. I could take a lot of brand deals from YouTube, but like I just, a lot of the stuff that comes in and a lot of the stuff that I get offered, it's just not me, and it's not something that I truly believe in. So I can't promote it, So I keep to what I truly believe in. And that's just, I don't want to take money for something that I don't love. So yeah, I don't really do a lot of brand deals. I think I have done maybe like one or two. And there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. I don't think there's anything wrong with doing those. It's just, for me personally, I don't need that money. I kind of just stick to what I do and what I love and all that.
Yeah, I mean, you're an example of somebody that has a business besides YouTube, and YouTube is a vehicle to get traffic. Whereas, a lot of creators out there, they're relying on the AdSense.
That's their job.
Yeah, they're relying on the brand deals. And I know, in some ways, it's like there's a lot of freedom of what you have in like having this business and knowing that you're not held to these brands. Because even though so many people go into YouTube for the freedom, the creative freedom, all this stuff, then they're held by these brands to have to, I need to do like this many brand deals this month, and I have to do this kind of video, that kind of video. Whereas I always say the best thing to do is to have some kind of business that you're using YouTube to drive traffic towards, and you embody that.
So you don't have to rely on other people's brands. You're working on your brand.
Yeah. Any video that you're particularly excited about that you uploaded on your channel that just didn't perform well?
I would say, honestly, that happens a lot more than you think. I'll think like a video is like this is the best video ever. Like, I love this video. And then it's like, it doesn't perform as well as I think. And I'm like, really? I was like, I thought that was good.
Yeah.
So I feel like, honestly, that happens more than you think. But there's not one particular video in mind that's just, I kind of think that sometimes about, like, sometimes I'll interview somebody, like an amazing, skincare formula, somebody who does like the formulations or something. And I'm like, oh God, this is so interesting to me. And then maybe some other people don't find it as interesting. So I'm like, really? but it's just, stuff like that. But
yeah. I mean, that answer is pretty much like very common. Like, pretty much everyone says like a lot,
Yeah.
Just, it is what it is about YouTube.
Yeah, exactly.
What is the biggest opportunity you got as a result of your YouTube channel?
Honestly, I think the biggest thing that I've gotten is to be able to do my business that I love so much. Like, I am so passionate about what I do and skincare, and honestly giving people like products that truly work, truly give results, and just really helping people like I always say, like, getting the best skin of your life. That I am so passionate about helping people do that. And seeing people message me and DM me all the time, and they're like, oh my gosh, Brianna, like, look at this before and after picture. Like, it's amazing, and their self-confidence is so much better. And that is like what drives me every single day. I just love my business. I love what I get to do. And I think YouTube was the best thing I could have ever done to be able to drive all of that information and just do what I love.
Yeah, that's so cool. So what percentage of your time is spent on creating content for YouTube and your YouTube channel and your business?
Oh gosh, it's so crazy. I definitely have like a very, very hectic life. Running a business, I'm very hands-on with my business. So I am talking to my employees constantly all day. They probably think I'm like so annoying because I'm always talking to them. So I have to run the business, and then I obviously do YouTube, and I try to do 2 to 3 videos a week to keep everything consistent. So a lot of days I'll try to, like, if I get a full day of filming, I'll try to do maybe 2 or even 3 videos in a day.
Wow.
But then I have to edit them. So it's a lot of time. It's a lot of time. My fiance is always like, babe, are you going to be off the computer anytime? It's 8:00 at night. And I'm like, editing my videos, YouTube is definitely, it's time consuming for sure.
Yeah. That's what I was going to ask you. Do you have any people on your team for YouTube, like doing your editing or thumbnails or any of that stuff?
No,
I do it all yourself?
And I keep thinking I should, because I do it all myself. And I would love to have somebody. I feel like editing is honestly such a huge part of YouTube. If you have somebody that can like edit really good, it like makes your videos a little bit more interesting. So it's kind of something that I kind of want to do, because I feel like I am terrible with editing, and I'm terrible with computers, and any technology I'm horrible at. So I feel like my videos, I feel like they could use a little like bump in editing and make it more fun, But yeah, I do it all myself. It's just when I get a chance and everything.
Yeah, because I was thinking you probably had a team or somebody, because like most of the people that I work with, they're like business women like yourself. They have some kind of a business, right? Yeah, and then they bring me on to do a lot of the YouTube stuff and the analyzing and the thumbnails and all that. And then
interesting.
Yeah, and one of the things I always tell them to do is like, okay, we gotta get an editor. So then I'll work with the editor and then kind of put the whole thing together. So I figured you had at least an editor or something.
No, I do it all myself. That's what I need.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, we could talk, but like,
yeah, definitely,
girl. I mean, because you could literally be saving so much of your time if you're uploading 3 days a week. I mean, 3.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I'd rather spend my time filming the videos and then
planning.
not have to worry about the editing, which takes hours too.
Yeah, and the planning of the video. YouTube success is all about the planning. The more you plan and like maybe film like different B-roll shots or doing like, hey, day in the life, or like, check-ins, or just stuff like that. Like that just makes better content.
For sure.
Yeah.
I need the editing part for sure.
Yeah, you do. I assumed you had one, considering how busy you are.
Yeah.
But okay, so then next question. What is your superpower that you think has led to your success?
Honestly, I think just being me. I think just, like I said, it's just being authentic and just not having any expectations. Just go and do it because you love it and you want to talk about something you love. And I think probably that's my superpower, is just being me. Either you love me or you don't, and that's just the way it is. I'm just me.
Yeah, and I think for you, having seen your channel for a long time, it's kind of like a lot of people, I don't want to call it luck because it's not luck because you do it with intention, but a lot of people they're very fortunate to be able to be on YouTube and be able to have their content really align with their mission and their passion, and also for it to align for such a long time. Like some people join YouTube and it's pre-marriage, pre-kids, and they're a totally different person, and then they're like trying to evolve on YouTube and like have their channel evolve as well. Some people it's hard to do, but for you, you have been like consistent from the beginning. Like I only use medical grade, that's it. Like this is me.
100%. When I got my business stolen away the first time by my ex-husband, and I had no income. I literally had lawyer bills like crazy, and I had no income. And I was getting all these still brand deals. Like, I mean, I was getting brand deals from companies that were like, "I'll pay you $5,000-$6,000 to talk about this product," and it was skincare. And I was like, oh God, could I use that money right now? Yes, but I just couldn't, because I'm like, it's not me, and I would never use that product. So I could not, even when I had zero income, I just couldn't bring myself to talk about products that I don't love.
Wow, well, that's when you really will not sell out.
Will not.
You're like, hey, I've hit rock bottom, and I won't be selling out. And in a way, it's really good that you didn't do that. Obviously for many reasons, but also when you came back, because if you had done that, you'd almost have to kind of like backtrack and be like, yeah, guys, I know I talked about this product, but I'm not using it anymore.
Exactly. And I just knew I always was going to be authentic to myself, like no matter what. And I just stuck to that, and I stayed positive and got through the most terrible days of my life, and then, came out, and, here we are again. Yeah,
that's awesome. Definitely a comeback story for sure. Why do you think people enjoy watching your videos?
I don't know. I just try to be fun and talk about things that can actually help people. I'm not a channel that just every single month talks about this is the best product, or now this is the best product, I really try to give people information that can like help them and really benefit them. And I don't just flip flop between today's my favorite and then tomorrow this is better and then this. Like I really stay true to a lot of the things that I really truly believe in, and a lot of the products I've been using for years and still talk about them. So I think people like that about me, is that I'm not every single day it's a new product. Like I'm very consistent. And when I love something, I will use it and continue to talk about it.
Yeah, no, definitely. And last question, what is your number one piece of advice you would tell someone who is just getting started on YouTube?
I would 100% just do it and have fun. Like, don't be scared, have fun, go on there, talk about things you love, and just be you, and just make it like a fun, like just hang out like you would with your friends. That's would be my biggest piece of advice. Like, just hang out.
Well, that's worked for you, so it's good advice. All right, Brianna, if for anybody that is not familiar with you and your channel, and they're listening and watching this, like, oh, I need to go check her out, where can they find you?
So my YouTube name is Brianna Stanko, and then that's my Instagram channel as well, as Brianna Stanko.
Awesome. All right, Brianna. Well, thank you so much for being on the show and for coming on and chatting with me and sharing your story. And I will link in the description below that video that you did where you came back. And because I've watched it before, it's a great video and it gives a lot more detail into like what happened. And you were very emotional and you were crying, and it was just like you could see it. So if anybody's curious about more of that story, I will link it in the description below. So
awesome.
Thanks, Brianna.
So much. It was so good to talk to you.
Yeah, you too. Bye.
So fun. Bye.
I hope you enjoyed that interview and you learned a lot from it. Now, if you have a YouTube channel or considering starting a YouTube channel that you're serious about growing and you want the best of the best when it comes to personalized feedback, advice, and up-to-the-minute YouTube strategy, then consider my Zero to Influence YouTube Bootcamp for Women. I have been running this bootcamp since 2018, and we have hundreds upon hundreds of very successful students that have gone through the program. And I can go on and on about the YouTube bootcamp, but I want you to hear it directly from some of the women themselves.
I feel so lucky that I got to do Erika's bootcamp.
Before I joined the bootcamp,
before joining Erika's bootcamp,
my channel was all over the place. I didn't know what I was talking about.
I would hear people say that I need to find my why and my voice and my audience and understand my target audience, but I never felt like I really understood what that meant.
Erika helped me come up with YouTube video ideas. She helped me with consistency. She helps me to interpret my analytics.
I started with 12,000 subscribers and now I have over 50,000 and it is growing rapidly.
My channel has grown almost 100,000 subscribers.
I definitely wouldn't have gotten to this place in such a short amount of time without Erika's bootcamp.
What makes Erika special is that she has been talking to and analyzing YouTube channels for years, and that has given her this bank of knowledge to pull from.
I'm constantly asking her questions about YouTube. I'm asking her advice about my YouTube channel.
Taking the Zero to Influence YouTube Bootcamp was one of the best.
The best decision I could have ever made for myself, for my channel, for my own personal growth as a human being. I could not be happier.
I love that it has reinvigorated me in such a beautiful way. So I am so happy that I've joined.
You're crazy not to hire her. Get on it. All right.